Greetings everyone, here's again Lodrik, and this is a game War in the Pacific Advanced Edition in the play by email against Jochen. Jochen is allied player and for me is the Empire of Japan. Today we will check the 12th January 1942. So the second battle of Clarkfield is now over already and still no real success. Jochen was more or less able to reinforce his defense position very close to Xian. In Malaya, the second part of the British forces starting to spread out and making trouble behind my line, so I must maybe turn around my main forces and get first rid of them. And many ships are in dock, repairing, reforming, getting upgrades, so not a very active phase of the war. So I'm a little sorry if you get not enough entertainment. And again, submarines trying to attack my poor patrol ships. I mean, not that a patrol ship is a warship. This is normally a civilian ship, so this is normally an attack or from a warship against a civilian ship. And normally I would say this is have no honor. A Japanese submarine will never attack any ship without a really mainly military reason. But Americans, of course, they always do this. So the night was relative quiet. A real Navy engagement we are missing for many days or even weeks now. Okay, so nothing. More submarines. I try to, or I sweep these locations where I want later bomb the Chinese ground forces, so I make sure that there's no long range cap. So these are more or less escort, but free hunting escort attacks. Last turn I think my air force was grounded because of the weather, but today I can attack. So I burn now the last supplies from Jochen. Bombardment of the airport. There's always an option to simply destroy enemy supplies. And because I come in 10,000 feet altitude, there is no flag strong enough to really hurt my airplanes now. Oh yeah. Every damage I bring to the airport must also be repaired, and everything what you repair consumes supplies. So I not only kill supplies directly, I also indirectly for the repair. And all the supplies are missing, then later the defense cannot fight so well. Yeah, many disabled units. And Jochen completely give up to cover his units. The Chinese Air Force is retreating and lets the army suffer. You can call it maybe a cold calculation, cold-blooded or cold-hearted. But it can also be that simply there is nothing more left from the Chinese Air Force Jochen can operate now. Maybe many airplanes are damaged or destroyed. I don't know. He don't want risk to operate them too nearby. If he keep his fighters in Changsha, then there's always a risk that I attack the airport and destroy his air force on the ground. So maybe tactical reasons. Bad weather again. Okay, here are my long-range patrol boats, similar to a Catalina, but a 4-engine, so this is even stronger. Also can carry 2 torpedoes. We have here 2 hits. And even 3 torpedoes. So 50% hit ratio. So 6 torpedoes, 3 hits. This is of course nice. And I come only maybe 1 turn too late. If I attack maybe last turn, then I was maybe able to destroy here more units. In this case, but the ship is normally lost. I don't believe that any ship. I mean, this is a military used civilian ship. Normally must sink. So also the air war, really nothing happened. Here's one small submarine, but at the end nothing happens here. My APD cannot find the location, so. And one more, in Singapore. Not sure how Jochen can hope to find here anything in Singapore, but somehow this sub can escape. Very strange. And now I make some bombardment to support the battle. I think I had here attack and it was not successful, just so. So I sent some heavy cruisers to simply make sure that the Dutch forces are not more coming back and trying to defend this base much longer. And normally you can use this base for an air base if you want to strike Singapore or Palm Bank. But I have already Singapore, so I am not really in need of this base. And there's really only a base, there's no resources, no industry, nothing. So I can bomb it, and I don't care. And it is a successful hit simply because I can destroy and disable most of the non-combat units. Okay, this is maybe not so important, but also some guns gets destroyed and disabled, and at least partly the fighting forces are disabled. It will make it more easy for me to take over the base. Here's the next base. My recon told me that he has no units, so I can take the base for free. I only suffer small landing losses. Okay. And I think last turn already I saw that there's more coming. So Jochen really reinforced his units here. I think the 66 Corps is new. I'm not sure I saw something so strong here before. And also a lot of artillery here. I mean, maybe a lot for Chinese units, but there are more stuff coming. So though Jochen focus more here in this source of Kukong, I also will bring reinforcements here. So we have here maybe a next blocking situation. We'll see how this plays out in the end. I also, simply to make sure, I bring my mixed brigade down to secure my cross road and the supply chain. So because from Hong Kong and Canton I get more or less unlimited supplies. So I can feed my artillery duel here with the Jochen anytime I want. Today I find not the target. Normally all the days before I find the target. Today, but nothing really happened, only some small disabled stuff. Jochen have more than 3 times the attack value, but I have a professional Japanese division plus HQ, so I'm far not strong enough to attack. But I think so long he don't have over, let's say, at least you need 4 times or even 5 times the attack value to attack me in this kind of terrain, in this defense position. I also have double fort, so at least the first attack will normally not be successful. So, this is the end. A very inactive turn. Only my standard Chinese bombardment. No enemy fighters in the air. My H6 long-range bombers find at least one good troop transport ship. I'm not too sure, it's maybe 12 or 13 points value. Standard, I would say. Nothing big, but nothing cheap. So of course, because we had here no activity at all, we have really only the lowest possible air losses. 1 nil for me, 1 Skytrain for Jochen. I think the Skytrains are operating from India mostly to support China, or maybe to support Burma via airlifting. And 1 nil bomber, whatever, it can always happen. But I lost no pilot, so nothing really happens. But I hear no sinking sound, so I don't believe that the ship is so far dead now, but with 3 torpedoes it's crippled. And if Jochen won't repair it in 100 days, then he can try to repair it in 100 days, but it's stuck in Port Moresby. It will not leave the Port More for a very, very long time. And every major damage he cannot repair, so maybe it's forever there. What else I can say? So in Xian, no, Xian is more north. Here's the situation in Xian now. I have 120,000 fighting personnel and 135,000 support. So like everything what is not fighting. And so I have a 7,500 attack value. but Jochen have also maybe 100,000 attack Chinese units. Even if I say it's half, means he have maybe 4,000 attack value, or maybe 3,000, 3 or 4,000 attack value. I need normally triple the attack value, because we are here in triple defense, so I need normally maybe 8 or 9,000 attack value, then I can break it. So I must find a way if I can get 1,500 more attack value here. I have here some forces, but this is maybe not enough. So we will see if I maybe must drive a second smaller army from the east to take Xian, or at least force to move him and push him slowly back. We will see. We will see. Every day I get a little more reinforcements in Manchukuo, and I have normally the better road connection. So I have two options. I can try to outflank, or I can use heavy bombardment and feed with my supplies, and then see who runs out of supplies first. And I would normally expect that Jochen will run out of supplies if he have so many forces in one hex and no real good connection. Of course, we have here 2 cities can produce supplies, 3 cities, so it will take some time to do this. In the source is no big change. I'm bringing forces here and from here, so I will try to cut the city from behind, and because I can see that the Jochen bring more forces here over the west road and also from source west. They're always small dots. So I will wait if he completely empty the city. If he do this, I can go inside the city, because I also block here. So this road is blocked. This road is blocked. Everything is blocked already. And normally they are not much. He can only bring the supplies here down to this location, but these units are out of supplies. But this is at the end all moving very slowly, so we will see. Burma is nothing because I don't care Burma, not at this time. And there's also nothing else. I scout here, but I find here nothing. I move my cruisers around and find nothing. Maybe I simply believe that maybe Jochen don't support his troops in Rangoon via shipping, at least in these days. So in the future we will see. This is what I already saw coming. Jochen tried to come out and bring here some chaos, but it's not really so big problem for me. I don't need this connections because everything is already in Singapore, and Saigon and Bangkok operating each other, and this part of Malaya is simply completely unimportant for me. Still, I have here 30,000 British forces, so I must get rid of them. So I bring my the might of the 25th Army here to deal with this quickly. I normally only must take this base. Once I take the base, all the rest forces have no supplies more and will not more able to fight. So if I keep in every base some Thai garrison units and take this base, and then I kick the main units once or twice, I think then they're giving up, and then I'm able to do other stuff. I must finish this operation latest at the end of this month so that I can take the February for other operations. I also will start to take this base here. Oh, here is nothing, so I will normally take this base and I bring some support units and normally take here this northeast coastline industry center of Sumatra. Here is nothing, but here we have oil and refineries. Here is nothing, and here is a scouting post. Jochen operate here some Catalinas and other stuff. So I must take this for bases, mainly to take here the oil, and also to make sure that no enemy navy scouts will operate more here in the check the Strait of Malacca. And the next big step will be to take Port Blair, because Port Blair also will check everything here. Once I take Port Blair and Sebang, I control this sea, and then I can operate my ships anytime I want out in the Indian Ocean without letting Jochen know I am coming. Yeah. Jochen maybe give up with his Catalinas. Yeah. A little unlucky, but maybe he lost so many via operational losses, so that there's maybe there was nothing left more. After losing 2 light cruisers, of course a little painful, but yeah, then the threat is over. I will try to pick up here this basis maybe, and this basis, to make sure that nothing will scout me here in this area. But I also must make sure that I take this basis in the source. But the big focus, of course, still Clark Field. But we have no activity here, so there's no change. I only try to recover. I'm already nearly under 10, so this is the first check, and the fatigue must be under 20. So maybe 3 more days. Yeah. Here maybe, because we had to adjust the battle. I am a little low on supplies. Maybe because I don't control this hex before, but normally now I control the hex. And I have not so many supplies in Hong Kong. Yeah, but some supplies in Canton. And I bring more and more supplies from Taiwan now to Hong Kong. So every week I bring 10,000 supplies, additional supplies. And I burn a lot of supplies in Hong Kong Canton simply because I upgraded the heavy industry strongly in short time, a lot. And this is now over, so I don't burn now any additional supplies more for industry. So I feel enough heavy industry to support my local forces. So in future I am not more hopefully forced to send too many supplies to China to support my efforts. Here in from Rabaul I had my float patrol, they call it. I call them normally with float boats. And they had the order to normally Navy attack, but I asked 2 of them, because it's 40% are 2, to make a search. So 2 out of 6 airplanes are out here in the morning and in the afternoon to check these 2 lines. So 1 float plane fly here in the morning, and the other one fly here in the morning, and then in the afternoon again. So this is why it's black. Double check, morning and afternoon. And then we detect here 3 ships, and one of this is the AP. The AP gets 3 torpedoes, so normally it's dead. Maybe I will bring my submarine inside to make sure to finish off this damaged ship, because it's only a port of 2, and so far I know it's port of 3 to have anti-submarine equipment. At least with a port of 3, it's impossible for a submarine to sneak in to attack a ship inside the port. But if it's a port 0, 1, and maybe also 2, you can dock a ship, but the submarine can still attack it. Yeah, anything else? I have still here a lot of Air Force training. And the airport is a little crowdy, you can see. So I must manage here something, but I try to focus to get first the port of level 4. Once I get the port of level 4, I will maybe switch to airfield of level 6, and then I try to finish the port of 7. One of my carriers I sent out for a special operation. It's normally only a switch of aircraft. I have here some well-trained but ill-equipped cloud fighters, and they are good for training, but they have no frontline duty. So, but I cannot upgrade them here. So I will fly them to my carrier, then I go with my carrier. Maybe I fly them to Truk, I can upgrade them normally in Truk. Or I fly them to Raboul and then upgrade them in Raboul. I will see what I will do with this. Because these are normally elite pilots. They had no activity so far. But you can see that they have experience level of 70 and they are all skillful. With 70 I would say you cannot train them better. They normally need activity now. Yeah, nothing really more. I think some days ago I changing my setup of my submarines near Pearl Harbor because I find nothing, so I say okay, screw it. I try to do something new and reprovision. Let's say I think a third of my submarines must return to port because they're running out of fuel, and the rest I try to bring in other position. Yeah, anything more? Yeah, because I don't have any warships out to do something. I can only here. This is my cruiser formation under detection. Not a good detection, but some detection. And I am running maybe a little low on fuel, so I have to do something. Yeah. I think I don't have much more to say. Maybe a short look on the industry. You can see here that my industry production is now at a maximum. 16,000 heavy industry. This is a production of supplies. You can see also here supply production nearly 16,000, nearly 10,000 light industry. So together you can say 26,000 supplies per day I produce. And this is production. This comes on top. So I have here. If you add this all together, then I come to 27,000 supplies, and also nearly 11,000 fuel production. If this is enough for the long run, normally not. At least, of course, not for the oil and the fuel. You can also see that I require 12,000 tons of fuel per day, but I only produce not even 4,000 tons. So not even a third of my. Maybe this is a quarter, something like this. Maybe a quarter of the oil I need for my refineries to run at 100% I only produce. So I'm lacking oil and I need more oil. That for sure. Here a short look on my industry. So I'm very close to get the upgrade or the scientist boost to shorten my development time for this new engine. So you can see every day I get 3%. Then you can see that I need 3, 4, 5 more days for getting here the 100% done, and then we're switching from October to September. And so on and so on and so on. And because I can make 3% per day, I'm making roughly 90% per month. So I can shorten this maybe 3 more months or something like this. Maybe even 4. And the other stuff is only ramping up. The H43 is also now starting producing, and here I have 4, so I produce 4% per day. Simply I do 4 because this is the best engine the Japanese have, or let's say one of the latest piston engine. You can produce one of the best airplanes with this, but they're all 1945 technology. So to get this engine is very, very complicated. Costs a lot of supplies, but I still do it. I think with the game with Dojo, I first not try this. But it's in the long run, it is support. For the first 1 or 2 years, it has no impact. And the 45 is, you can see already 2 years earlier. This is a must-have engine. Every Japanese player must push for this engine. There's no way around. The H45 is most important engine ever can get it. So the air production is also, I don't increase more the production, 110 zeros. Oscars also will be soon at 110. I think this is enough. I don't want to invest here more. Because every factory I build here costs me 1,000 supplies. So at some point I must say it's enough. Keep it like this. I only will increase the Kate and the valve production still more. Torpedo bombers are very easy to lose, and I need a lot more. And the valve bombers, they are also dying very fast. So this is at the end my production still. And here a short look on the industry. R&D for airplanes. Nothing is done so far. Some stuff is coming up. To get here the Judy, maybe, if I'm lucky, but only if I'm lucky, I can get here maybe one of the factories for the Judy early on. This will help. The rest is nothing too special. One of the Tojos is also coming good. Maybe this will help. And one of the Helens is already at 27. Not that I really... The first Helen have no armor, so what I will normally do, if this is at 30, I will normally switch it to the Helen 2A. Because this airframe is simply also hard to push. Because one factory produces 1% per day. If you have the 500% engine bonus, you get 2%. But still is only one factory, so 1% per day, so 30% per month. With 500 engines, I can get 60%. But even that will maybe, in best case, I can shorten the production time maybe for 1 month, not starting April, then I get maybe the bomber in March. But this is the best case. So I would say I don't even try to push the 2A. I simply go immediately for the 2A Helen. Let's check. Here. This is 2B. Wait, I think I missed it. It's in 49, not the yeah. 49 2A. So normally starts in September of 42. And 42 is maybe something you can try to get 1, 2, 3, let's say maybe 2 months earlier already. And if I'm done with this, I will slowly starting for the 2B. But the 2B is not really a much better airplane more. I only get some better, heavier guns for defense, but the speed is the same, armor protection is the same. So the jump from 1A to 2A is big, but from 2A to 2B is not more really necessary. Good, and here's the rest. I scroll here maybe a little fast, but you can see here nothing really is coming here up. This is maybe here also interesting. Maybe if I get one of the Francis, this is also a good important airplane. But you needed to get 30 to 0. Even if I'm get here now many here, maybe if I end up at 28 to 2, I still get nothing out of this. I need it full. I need it all repaired, or I get no R&D out of this. Good. For today, I think it's enough. Take care. See you. Bye-bye.